Kyiv presses west for more ammunition, air defenses, battle for Bakhmut rages on. Kyiv is renewing calls for more ammunition and stronger air defenses after Russia fired half a dozen hypersonic missiles at Ukraine last week. In an interview with Germany's Bild am Sonntag newspaper that published Sunday, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said ammunition shortages were the number one problem his country was facing and urged Berlin to speed up promised deliveries. He also called on the German government to begin training Ukrainian pilots to use Western fighter jets. Fierce fighting continues in the eastern town of Bakhmut, where Kuleba said Ukrainian troops would continue to defend. Russian fighters have taken control of most of the eastern part of the city in recent days, while Ukrainian forces are holding their ground in the west, British defense officials said. Here's the latest on the war and its ripple effects across the globe. Key developments. Kuleba said he does not expect Western allies to send fighter jets anytime soon, but told Bild am Sonntag that Ukrainian pilots should be trained for when a decision is made. Kyiv has been asking for advanced warplanes for months. In February, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said such a decision will take time, and President Biden said Ukraine does not need them now. The head of Ukraine's armed forces also asked the Pentagon's top general, Mark A. Milley, for better air defenses. Gen. Valery Zaluzny said he emphasized the issue of the defense needs of Ukraine, namely ammunition and material, according to a Ukrainian readout of their telephone call. The year-old conflict is challenging the West's ability to keep up with Kyiv's need for arms. Wealthy families in Moscow and St. Petersburg appear to have been relatively unaffected by Russia's military draft, Britain's defense ministry said Sunday, adding that in many places, ethnic minorities have taken the biggest hit. Battleground updates. British defense officials described the Ukrainian-held parts of Bakhmut as a killing zone, making it hard for Russian mercenaries to advance in the west. A Ukrainian military spokesman said more than 500 Russian fighters had been killed or injured over a 24-hour period. The Washington Post could not independently verify that claim. 2 civilians were killed and 3 injured in a missile strike Saturday in the city of Kherson, according to the Ukrainian military. The likelihood of further strikes remains quite high, it added. In his nightly address, President Volodymyr Zelensky said the victims were at a store to buy groceries. Global impact. The head of the Russian Orthodox Church urged Pope Francis and other religious leaders to make every effort to prevent Kyiv's crackdown against its Ukraine-based affiliate. Patriarch Kirill, an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin and one of the most prominent backers of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, said Kyiv's order last week for the Ukrainian Orthodox Church to leave its monastery would lead to a violation of the rights of millions of Ukrainian believers, Reuters reported, citing a statement shared on the church's website. The Ukrainian foreign minister denied suggestions that Ukraine partisans may have been behind explosions in September that severely damaged the Nord Stream natural gas pipelines. It is the first time that I'm hearing a story of a secret pro-Ukrainian or Ukrainian group that is able to conduct operations of that scale and sophistication, Kuleba said in an interview in the New Statesman.